Okay, a few more features to explain. The first one is, how did I get this toolbar? Well, this toolbar, apparently, these buttons at least, have been available since 2010. So I just found out about them because I had someone ask me a question a little while ago about something called a practice file that calls out, when to shoot different shots. And I was going to go ahead and reprogram that, and I found this was already there, built into Excel. It felt kind of dumb. So I added it, and I tweaked my existing spreadsheet with a feature that I wanted for years, which is calling out matches to save my voice, to free me up to go and play matches, and to have someone else do the easy part now. So here's how you get it. It's under File, Options, Customize Ribbon, and I made a new ribbon, or a new tab on the ribbon, just so I could have it in the far left, so that if I did decide to resize and call multiple matches at the same time, it wouldn't be off on the right out of view. So I made a new tab, which I'll do another one here, and new tab, fine. And then what I did was I changed my commands from the popular ones that are already there to the ones not on the ribbon. They've been in Excel for years, but they're just not visible. They're not expected to be used that much. And they all start with the word speak. So there's 5 in the speak, cell, stop speaking, etc. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to double click in each one. Double click. Let's try that again. Double click. Not doing that very well. Click, add. I think I'm double clicking too far, too fast. So 1, 2, 3. This one I forgot. Can I move it up? I can. Okay. So I missed one. It's back where it should have been. So we have these different 5 options. And I'm going to go ahead and OK it. And so there it is. So speak cell, stop speaking by rows, etc. That's how you get them. And then if I just simply click here, I can just demonstrate how they work. I liked the one called on enter for a little while, but then I didn't like it because if I used on enter,
cells will now be spoken on enter.
But even if I entered information like which table number,
2.
It was speaking too much. So I didn't like it that way. So I turned that
Turned off speak on enter.
So I say, okay, turn on when I want, turn off when I want using this. So let me go to one of my announcements and say, okay, speak.
Semi-pro singles Gregor versus Spy repeat Gregor versus Spy on table 2. Semi-pro singles Annie versus Hot Lips repeat Annie versus Hot Lips on table C.
Until I click on stop. I can have it move down by the column or across by the row. Let's see what that looks like.
Semi-pro singles Gregor versus Spy repeat Gregor versus Spy on table 2. 1.
So for the way that I've laid out my spreadsheet, obviously I want to leave this on by columns and then turn it on and turn it off, starting by pointing at the cell that I want it to speak in.
Semi-pro singles Gregor versus Spy repeat Gregor versus Spy on table 2.
If I want to skip, I stop it, I move down below, and I start there.
Semi-pro singles Denny versus Eddie repeat Denny versus Eddie on table C.
And that's how that works. Okay, now this chart right now only appears as part of the spreadsheet. So unless I have a separate monitor that has a video cable attached to my laptop, no one's going to see it. Suppose I want to have something a little bit more elegant. I want to actually publish this to the web. So what I do then is I come here and I say, fine, on this chart, I want to file save as again. Now, it's already been saved once as an Excel spreadsheet. So I don't want to do that. I want to save it as an HTML file. Where's that? Web page. And when I get that, I get the choice of the entire workbook or just this sheet. I only want this sheet. And then there's an option called Publish. And the publish that I want is to auto-republish every time the workbook is saved. Now, that will take a little bit of a hit on the Wi-Fi, but this isn't a very involved spreadsheet anyway. It's got millisecond upon millisecond to burn. So if I go ahead and say, okay, let's go ahead and now publish that. I can back out of here. So let me see what I can do there. So this is semi-pro singles. Let's see if I can find it. Yeah, there it is. Semi-Pro Singles, and if I tell it to open this with Microsoft Edge, that's their new browser. So there it is. And let's see if I go back and change it. So if I go back and let's see, okay, the winner was, Hot Lips beat Gregor. Okay, let's see if I change that. So I go back to my matches and I say, whoops, I got that one wrong. Hot Lips did not beat Gregor. Gregor beat Hot Lips. Well, what's going to happen if I go over to my Edge, to the web again? It's not going to update. It's waiting for me to resave it. Then it republishes, and it's going to warn me, do I want to enable that? Because there's going to be a little bit of a hit. I say, sure. I'm not doing a lot with this computer. Go ahead and do it. So now if I come back to Edge, I have to refresh this, and Gregor beat Annie. So what you probably want to have is little signs. You could have like an iPad that so long as it had access to the web. Now in our case, that's a lie, because we didn't publish this to the web. We just published this to this local drive. At least, however, what we could do is we could have this in a separate window on this laptop. And what we plan on doing, not in this iteration, but maybe 3 to 6 months down the road, is we want to have a step-by-step guide to having a simple and easy way to actually publish this to the web, so that the end user can actually have an update on their phone or on their tablet. Then all they have to do is just on a regular basis just keep updating this. We can maybe even automate that and run some JavaScript code to have it like every minute update. Then they can actually track what's going on for both that and the results. And that's it. I thought that I'd finish off by saying that we don't charge for this, and we do want to keep it open source. Basically, we're not going to lock it down or hide stuff from you. So for instance, maybe I want to go ahead and explain how it does the automatic randomization. So I'm going to go ahead and just select these, and I'm going to tell it to unhide. So what it's doing here is it actually is running some code where it utilizes this public key up here. So it goes up and it looks at cell A3, and it multiplies it by this large number. Now, where we got this formula from the internet, and it simply is using an algorithm that a mathematician thought up for doing this within code. And we just said, okay, let's take the algorithm step by step by step to randomize this list of information, and let's use the features in Excel to go ahead and use it here. So basically it takes this and it multiplies it by a big number, and then it uses it a really, really big number, and it compares these two and divides one by the other, and it puts right here what that number is. This now ranks them in order. So if I come up here and change my key, you're going to see all the numbers change. Not just one, but all the numbers change. There they go. Because this is one random number, but this uses the number above it to make another random number, to make another random number, to make another random number. I'll do it one more time, and hopefully you're going to see all the different names change. All that we recommend is you keep it more than 1 million, because that's what the person who wrote the code says. Keep it more than 1 million. It's going to have a nice large information base to look at. It's going to update and update and update and give you a nice sort of a random draw. Okay, so that's it. We had those things hidden, which is how I'm going to leave the spreadsheet for you. We're not going to lock it, however. Similarly, any words you want to put in for your announcements, we're not going to lock that down. The results, what you may decide to do is, instead of having it by the nickname, you might want to have it by the name that they go by, their full first and last name over here. And that's something we'll talk about in the next version perhaps. But for this first version, I think we have enough information. So that's it.